True spiritual life is only about one disposition. And that disposition is the body-mind, the whole of the body-mind, being in love, or simply being love. And what comes with that disposition of being love? Joy, delight, happiness, intimacy, relationship, integrity, functioning, energy, life. If you say you are spiritual and you're being frustrated, irritated, you're doubting, you're full of fear and anxiety, you're not at rest, you don't feel at home wherever you are, no matter what is arising, true spiritual life is being in that place, in that disposition, in that condition with a capital C, in that reality where you are simply awake and you are at home. Once again, no matter what is arising, there is a pleasurable oneness with everything and everyone, because your body-mind is in that disposition likened to the open hand. Anything other than that is egoic, coming from this clenched fist disposition. The self-contraction, the ego, all of that activity that you're doing to your body-mind is self-possession. True spiritual life is being possessed by God, possessed from the toes to the crown of the head. People say to me, I practice a spiritual life. Nonsense. They say to me, I meditate. Nonsense. Meditation is egoic. There is no meditation that isn't narcissistic form of self-possession. Sitting there with eyes closed. Going into all levels. That's self-contraction upon the nervous system. True spiritual life is loud and quiet. It incorporates all of duality. It embraces all of duality. All the ups and downs and ins and outs and ins and hots and colds, all the opposites. You're not preferring this to that. This disposition is always avoiding. It's always preferring this to that. When one's in this disposition, the open hand can discriminate, but it embraces prior, if you like, to discriminating. The open hand disposition can see what's dirty and what's clean. It embraces it, and there's an intelligent decision or an intelligent discrimination. It sees whether something's not straight and something's crooked. It's if you don't mind me saying these words, it knows the difference between shit and shinola. So true spiritual life is a disposition. The disposition of happiness, joy, delight. It has nothing to do with beliefs and religion and cultures. It's a graceful happening. It's an awakening that comes from being fed up with this nonsense. From the clenched fist. Fed up with being narcissistic, dwelling on yourself all the time. Fed up with all those results of the self-contraction, boredom, doubt, discomfort, envy, greed, lust, childishness, adolescentness. You see, the majority of adults are dramatizing between being childish and being adolescent. The true, mature human being, no matter what age, is this disposition of love, happiness, joy. There's a stability there. There's a restfulness. There's a peace there. I can sit here and not say a word, but be happy and in love. This disposition allows the body-mind to function well, to be what it is. You don't live your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your genitals, your brain. You're not growing your hair. Consciousness with a capital C is this disposition of love, happiness, joy, delight, intimacy, loudness and quietness, playfulness and seriousness. It's all embraced. There's no division, there's no separation, there's just oneness with anything and everything. And in that oneness, I can break the pencil, I can use the pencil as a back scratcher, I can use the pencil as I should, I can press hard, I can lighten the touch. It's all coming from that disposition of love, no matter what's arising. There's no attachment. So if someone walks into the room and starts talking to me, this is no more important than listening or not listening. There's no control. There's no I am more important than you. There's no image to uphold. It's just simply love, happiness, joy. I'd like you to listen to this video again and understand. And give us a thumbs up and comment. And there's no ego in this disposition. Every adult is living like a clenched fist, no matter whether they call themselves spiritual, whether they have loads of beliefs, whether they call themselves Christians or Muslims or Hindus, whether they go to church, whether they don't go to church, whether they go to a temple, whether they don't go, whether they shop at Tesco's or Sainsbury's, or it doesn't make a blind bit of difference to this disposition. Like air. Air doesn't care where it is. Water is the same, whatever. H2O is H2O is H2O. A spiritual life is being this disposition of only happiness, joy, delight, intimacy. No matter what is arising, no matter what the clouds, no matter what the weather, the sun continues to shine. may not always be apparent. As I said in one of my videos the other day, the windscreen is always clean. The glass is always clean, no matter what's on it. Always is the key word there. The one who is awake is always awake. Adults live in a dream world. Most children do too. There's only a few people that live in an awakened, open-hand disposition. And I'm one of them. Are you? How do you get from this to this? Well, I'll be fed up with this, disillusioned, absolutely fed up with being an ego. It's a disposition. That word disposition is simply a state, a condition, a reality with a capital R. Nothing personal about it. All that's gone. The body-mind is possessed by God, by real God. Nothing to do with beliefs, nothing whatsoever to do with what anyone has ever said or whatever you have read. It's a prior state. It's the state prior to picking up the scissors, the state and disposition prior to picking up the pencil and using the pencil. It's a state prior to speaking, prior to blowing your nose, prior to seeing, prior to brushing your hair, prior to dressing, prior to dancing, prior to walking. It's a disposition prior to cooking, prior to doing this, prior to doing that. It's prior. It's the prior state. It's the state of the glass before anything's added to it. It's a state of the plain piece of paper before anything's written on it. It's the state of the chef before anything's cooked, hopefully. Coming from love, joy. No, most chefs are coming from here, anxiety. Most artists are coming from here, anxiety, getting it right, having to do it right. Thank you for listening. Blessings.